Here we go. We're back again. Thank you everyone for joining tonight. Oh, I didn't quite time that correctly there. Who we got in Sion Studios. Good evening. Watch back your Atlanta live stream this morning. Looks brilliant. Yeah, I'm very impressed with it, as you obviously saw from the live stream. I've had a lot of comments on both social media and YouTube since the live stream ended. Mostly people concerned about performance. Again, I'm not here to back studios up. I am fans of certain studios. Obviously, you know, I've worked with certain studios before in a manner of providing cinematics and trailers for them. I've also, you know, featured their stuff on live streams. And listen, as long as studios are open to me showing this stuff in this manner without there being any kind of would you call it, getting hoodwinked, I guess is a cool term for it. You know, I don't want studios, and it's never happened. I'll be totally honest. In my personal experience, it's never happened. The studios never asked me to favorably, you know, positively review the products. I think at this point, studios are very much developers and studios are very much aware of what I do on live streams if they've seen any of my stuff, so they know that their products are going to be shown from top to toe. Obviously, if a studio says, listen, this is in a certain phase of development, I'm very happy for you to show it, but please make sure your audience knows that A, B, and C. Absolutely fine. That is beyond. I'm happy with that. You don't need to say any more. Your product is still in a phase, but you're happy to show it off at this point to, you know, to get the hype going, to get it promoted. And you know that you're very confident that by release phase it's going to be in a better state. And what I will say is Matteo was there, the developer of Atlanta. He was there throughout the live stream for most of the 2 hours, answering questions, and I love when that happens. And you know, as he was saying, things are still glitchy, things are still buggy. He's fixing them, he's adding things into them. I couldn't stress enough that last night things were a bit stuttery. It's a big airport, but I hope that going into release that it's better, because it is stuttery. I don't think it's gonna be the very, very best experience flying in and out of there currently just yet. Especially if you want to do it on VATSIM and you want to do it with AI traffic and everything like that. But yeah, I appreciate you watching it back. But yeah, still going to be looking at that. And hopefully I will also do some flights into it as well. Nice to see him last night. Nice to see you here directly from. Yeah, as I say, I know that developers can't always come into live chats. It's not always applicable. In fact, some developers, and I think a good percentage of developers that feature on this channel and many other channels, they're in different parts of the world and they can't make it into these live streams, especially over in the likes of Australia, New Zealand, and stuff like that. But yeah, it was fantastic that Matteo was there. I do love it, and I always appreciate it. Even when developers can't be there, I like the other day, Simulations. You know, they can't be in the chat, but after the live stream when they messaged me via Discord, thank you so much for showing Appleton, so much for showing Izmir off. Really appreciate it. Fantastic. You know, you don't have to thank me. I need to be thanking you for giving me the opportunity. Anyway, guys, we are back again. We're back tomorrow, and we're going to be back on. Oh wow, we're back on Wednesday. We've got some back-to-back consecutive live streams going on the channel. Today is going to be a bit of a time travel. I've seen it. I've seen a bit of it, but I haven't had a good look around this scenery that we're going to be taking a look at. It is going to come with the live. It's going to come with the flight. The flight should only take about 30 minutes. Shouldn't take a lot of time out. It should give us a nice amount of time in the sky and then a really nice amount of time over in Palm Springs. That's what we're having a look at. As right now, I can see a lovely United 757 taxiing out, which is cool. Only just arrived, so not sure what stuttering you're referring to, but in terrible stutters and visa with, especially in the. Yeah, we were talking about the Atlanta scenery, Carl. But again, I'm hoping most of them are fixed for release. Atlanta still, as Orbex told me, in beta, still in pre-release. What we need to do now is we need to actually get onto the business side of things here. Ivan, good to see you. Thank you for everyone for coming in tonight. I'll tell you what, this one, guys, this one is for you guys to enjoy, of course, but it is for me to take my sort of proper first look at, because it's, as I say, it's an older scenery. So it's not a nice new sparkly scenery pre-release, you know, everyone's anticipating it. I get that, but sometimes you've just got to do these live streams because you really want to share and carry on doing the streams. Really, I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean, like, I don't have to do them. I mean, I want to do them, and it's not like last night, for example. But like I've said to you guys before many times, it's not about the numbers. It's about the communication with the community, and seeing you guys in the chat and having a good chat and having a good flight and all that business. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it regardless. I know it's not a spanky new scenery and it's all new and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, you might get a really, really good landing out of me. Might be in the yeah. We'll see. Anyway, guys, as we go on, we're going to go into the United A319 now. Before I start, please go and subscribe to this gentleman here if you haven't already. We are cross-promoting our channels together. This is Lee from Virtual Airline Pilot. Everything is in the live stream description, guys. I don't want to take any more of your time up, but please do go and check out some of the videos. You might like them, you might not, but please go and give him a subscribe, because, you know, if you like the content I do, then I'm fairly confident that you will enjoy Lee's channel as well. So, with that being said, let's get ourselves to LAX. We are not far from Palm Springs. We've got some aircraft already taxiing out, hopefully to the same runway that I'm going. It does look like that. So, let's get into it now. I've only turned the aircraft on so far, so you're going to have to bear with me. Let me just see if I can turn a few things up. And hopefully good landing. Hopefully good landing. Hopefully. And again, I do like to practice these flights, and I already have practiced this. This is an RNAV approach. This isn't an ILS. I haven't done, well, before about 2 hours ago, I hadn't done an RNAV approach on my own. So this is quite an interesting approach as well, this, because of the terrain around Palm Springs. So, with that being said, let's try and get on with proceedings. Let's get the lights sorted. I am just going to put the seatbelts and the smoking on. Nav and logo up, and then strobes just to auto for now. I mean, they can be flicked on it whenever. Nav 1, 2, and 3s, and for now, I'm happy with the board. All good. We are using the WINCTRL EFIS minor joystick, the FSU, the FCU, and the EFIS paddles today. We're also using, where is he? This beauty, the Hoot Walt Airbus Tiller. There you go. You can see. There we go. Spotty dog. Lovely. Lovely. If you're doing a lot of taxiing out, this is it's a good one. It's a good one. I'm enjoying it. Had it go at Palm Springs yesterday. The scenery is fantastic. Palm Springs is basically in the middle of the bowl. It basically is, mate, yeah, and that's why it's RNAV. You guys are probably able to tell me, but I'm assuming RNAV is because of the terrain around, meaning the ILS can't be, or it can't be implemented in this airport and other obviously airports. Is it because of the terrain? Is that the reason why ILS is useless in this case, because of sort of the mountainous terrain around it? I could be wrong. But yeah, this is just an RNAV in one direction as well, which is the direction, luckily, we're going to be landing at. Funny that, isn't it? So 25 right out of LAX and 31 left into cusps into Palm Springs. I've also got a copy to give away. I know this is an older one. This one came out actually back in 2023, and then in November 2024. This was still before I'd come back to YouTube properly. This released in November 2024, just after Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 came out. So yeah, it's an older one, but I've got a copy to give away because iniBuilds are great like that. They just said, yeah, you want to live stream it, there you go, and you can have a copy, definitely. Let's have a little look. Fly with Cam. RNAV has a higher level of accuracy than ILS. RNAV uses satellite triangulation, whilst ILS is just a signal from. So I knew ILS was basically a thing from the ground. Yeah, I've never done RNAV. I've done a practice one with one of the Alexes over on Discord, and I did one before. It seemed to go well, but this one, what you basically have to do is you have to let the plane come in at an angle and keep it hugging the lower mountains to the left of the airport, and then take it off autopilot, and then bit of a nice, keep it on the glide slope, keep it on the RNAV, and then yeah, to the right, and you come in. It wasn't a Bin Laden before. We'll see what happens now. Should already be good. Yeah, that's fine. Delayed, of course we are. Let's load the aircraft. Do you know what, guys? We are going to load the aircraft instantly today. I would usually like to do fast time, but the IRS is already 5 minutes, so I am going to load this instantly today, just for live stream purposes. The pressure is on. It is really, the pressure is on. Let's get this departure stuff done and dusted. We are on at 2989. That way, there we go. Spot on. Let's get our V speeds. Funnily enough, it is 1 knot slower than what I did before on the practice one. Fair enough. Right, that is. I'm happy with that. I know I don't need to do this now, but I'm going to. I also, because it is a short flight, I am gonna just get what I need. Instrument approaches. I think it's 3,100. You guys will be able to help me with this because I'm not particularly sure. In the arrival performance on the MCDU, in the barrow, which one am I putting in? You guys, can you guys let me know? Because last time I did, I think I put 1320 in. Any takers on that one? Why is the door shut? Oh my god. I'm sorry guys, bear with me. I'm not wireless with my headphones as well, they're charging. I had to open the door because it will get far too hot in here. Right, okay, let's carry on. I am... Again, I used to put the call sign number in this for the flight number, but I'm going to actually put the flight number in, which is based off a flight from LAX to Palm Springs, which is United 3545. And this route is, from what I've seen, mostly done with the Embraer 175. It's not a A319. A319s and A320s, I think, do operate from this in this route, but I don't think United use them. They might have substituted it at one point, but from what I've seen on Flight Radar, it's generally the 175 with United. We will carry on, and this flight plan, again, I've done this earlier on. We are departing LAX from 25 right. Taking, now it does say take the LAXX1 departure, but I'll show you what happens. And then the transition is a TRM, but again, I'm gonna delete some things because it doesn't align up. And actually, when I do this manually myself, it actually more aligns to the flight plan of Flight Radar, the actual flight path that you can see on there, Flight Radar 24. I think I'm gonna do Zulu for this one, and then also again it says Cloud 1. I end up deleting that anyway, so I'll show you what I mean now. Let's flick that back to the flight plan, and I'll show you. So you'll see that there's a discontinuity on here, and what I do is just delete the manual one. Hang on, bear with. I delete the manual one, and then delete the discontinuity, which basically gives us this. It gives us this tight turn, but it's quite similar to what they do at LAX. It's still doable. The plane can still carry on with that. And then as we go around here, you'll see that this weird flight plan right over the top of the airport, right over the approach path, and then all the way around. It doesn't do that. It's actually the other way around. So if you get rid of, it does do this weird little shape, this little semicircle, but if you get rid of cloud and do that, and then link it back up, you'll get the actual flight path. That is actually the one that it does. I wouldn't like to do the one that it originally shows you, because it would probably send you too close to the mountains. But this is exactly what, if you go on the Flight Radar plans, this is exactly what it does. Comes over the sort of, not the city, but it comes over the sort of the more urban area and goes around. And the way it's, you'll see that the way it's kind of hugging the, it's this, it doesn't quite align to the runway. It's because it's constantly following the mountainside all the way along until you have to, well, last time I did, I took manual control and flew the last bit. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm a bit nervous. I did do it before, kind of okay. We'll see what happens today. Again, we'll see. We'll see if it. I don't know. You know, you just never know with me. Sometimes you'll get the nicest landing. We are up to 16,000 today, but we'll do 10,000 to start off with. We have got some live traffic on here with just like traffic, so yeah. Let's get these pumps on. I'm also using the newest GXX update. As you can see, GSX has had a bit of a facelift. We've got actual little... Do you know what, guys? I actually like this. This is nice. I haven't... This is the first time I'm seeing it. It's the first time probably some of you guys are seeing it as well. I think I'm using LAX iniBuilds. I don't know. I have it installed. I think this could actually just be the default one at this point, because I haven't used this airport in a long time. I was concerned because it doesn't feel outdated. If it looks outdated out there, do you know what I mean? It looks weird. I mean, iniBuilds LAX is quite old. now anyway, but it doesn't feel like that old. This could be the default LAX, I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure at all whether this is. Obviously Palm Springs is, but I don't know whether this is iniBuilds, because I don't know whether I've installed it again. Do you know what? You've got me guessing. It also, as well, I don't know whether the default version needs to be disabled. It could have re-enabled. It could be conflicting each other. Have I got it installed? Let's have a little look, because I'm now curious myself. Now you ask me. iniBuilds KLAX is installed. So apparently it is it, but it feels out. Do you know what? It's an old scenery now, so it feels outdated. Did it even get a 2024 update? I think it did, didn't it? Dave, good evening, mate. I'm good, mate. I hope you're doing good as well. It does. Do you know what? It looks terrible, doesn't it? Look at it. It does look terrible. Right, where are we up to on this? Yeah, so GSX guys, it's had a little facelift today. About an hour ago, I saw they posted on Facebook, and it's now version 4.0. And it now has all these tiles, and it looks nicer. But yeah, it's still saying apply the hotfix, and I don't quite know what that is because I've done it so many times. Anyway, you will be using that in just a second. Let's get the APU on. I am going to tell, just for now, have I put the weight into here? Yeah, I have. Yeah, okay. I'm going to move the cones out the way for now. I'm going to get the APU started. Get the APU bleed on. I've been watching some things, mostly Pilot Explains, an Airbus captain. Part of Airliners Live, he actually did a full flight Manchester to Chambéry, and he showed you everything as what he does on the Airbus, and it was very, very interesting. He was talking about the APU bleed not being turned on until about 3 minutes after the APU started to prevent fumes going into the cabin. Obviously, Microsoft Flight Sim isn't going to do that for the most part, but yeah, that is something that apparently you should be doing, along with many, many other things that it just went right over my head, so I'm sure I'll learn them as we go forward. But yeah, I am going to be trying to get my hands on the new FS Reborn Phenom this week for you guys. And it looks like a fantastic plane, but being a scenery person, as you know, I am very, very interested in this FBO. I saw it on Two-Tone Murphy's live stream, and I am super. I'm not going to waste 3 minutes, by the way, because I've done it in the past before like that. Two-Tone Murphy streamed last night. He streamed the preview of it, and that FBO, just that you can place down in any location and customize it, and you can open the hangar doors with a switch, and it just, guys, it looks fantastic. The aircraft looks great, and I want to try and learn it because it looks great, and I want to have a decent sized bizjet. Also, I can fly around different airports and stuff, and that FBO scenery though, and it's not just the fact that it can be configured and customized, the quality of the building and the models, and the fact that you can walk around it. It's got collision, you can walk up the stairs, as I say, you can move the blinds up and down the windows, the hangar doors. It looks brilliant, and put your own logo in there as well if you wanted to. Incredible. I want to take a look at it. I really, really do. Just bought, playing with rat. Nice, Dave. Let me know how it goes. I mean, yeah, I like flying the Phoenix, but I'd also like to have a good knowledge of a business jet and be able to fly it around some different routes. And I've got a couple of ideas about what I want to do with the FBO in particular, and how I want to showcase it and stuff, because I think it's really cool. But I'm gonna try and learn the aircraft first. It seems relatively simple. I mean, compared to the A320, it seems pretty nice. It'll just be getting used to the I don't think it's the G1000. I think it's one of the higher ones. It's maybe similar to what the Vision Jet's got in it and stuff. But yeah, I'd have to work out how all that works, you know, how all the screens and the flight displays work for that. Right, let's get on with it, folks. What haven't I done here? I can take the ground power off now, and we can get the lovely new GSX done. Prepare for pushback. Okay. Seems like there was only one in there to choose from when usually there's quite a lot, but I don't think I've got the GSX profile installed for this. That's the issue, I think.
Captain, we are ready for pushback.
Perfect.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Sorry, guys. But yeah, I am curious to see. As I say, the aircraft looks fantastic, the Phenom. But as I you know, look at a lot of sceneries and stuff, the things that FS Reborn have been able to do with the added-on FBO and the private terminal, that you can, as I say, you can add your own logos to it, but also just add it to an existing airport, and it just seems to work very well. So yeah, I'm excited to try and look at that. Tomorrow, guys, we're looking at NZA Simulations Mount Cook version 2. So we're having a look at the native 2024 update to their Mount Cook scenery. Massive scenery. We're going to take a look at all the, you know, the helipads in the airports, all of the points of interest around it as well.
Release parking brakes, please.
And I am looking forward to that for sure. Go away, GSX.
All engines clear. Start.
Still cutting out the audio though, I've noticed. But yeah, back in New Zealand tomorrow. I absolutely love NZA simulation stuff, as you probably, some of you guys already know. And I've only looked around the Mount Cook airport to take the thumbnail again. You guys have heard me say that quite a lot, but I have literally only seen that. I've seen the scenery before in 2020 and stuff, the the compatibility version for 2024, but this is a complete rebuild using all of the fancy 2024 stuff. So it's guys, I have seen the Mount Cook airport, not had a good look around it, but I tell you what, the detail, if you know NZA simulations, these guys know detail. They absolutely have every little square inch of their sceneries with clutter and foliage, the custom foliage and everything. Fantastic. Can't wait to show you that tomorrow. That is going to be an 8 PM start, that one, not 7:30. And then Wednesday we're on X-Plane 12. I'm going to try and fly the A320 Neo from Tolus. I've had a little bit of a go, but not much. I should have a little practice before. Yeah, look at that. American Airlines Dreamliner going off there. Then we've also got an Japan Airlines Dreamliner.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Perfect. So we get on our way to Palm Springs. Not a long flight, guys. Again, massive thank you for your patience on this one, and we'll get down to Palm Springs. Not too many. I'm not too sure how many people here have seen the iniBuilds Palm Springs. It's my proper first look at it as well. So the thing with Explain 12, mate, is there's some elements to it, and I'm talking from a visual standpoint. Some of them, you'll see it on Wednesday. Every so often, you'll just see this glimmer of it being just visually impressive, especially when we get above the clouds and we see the lighting. It's fantastic. Dude, I don't know why, but I've been recently getting into aviation and stuff like that. I don't know why. I'm 13, mate. I've been saying it recently. There's been a lot of the younger generation getting into plane spotting and going out and taking photos, going out and going to different airports and getting into the aviation, getting into flight simming. I am gonna purely put it down to social media and people over on TikTok and Instagram seeing groups and getting involved with your mates and going down to these locations. Flight simming online, the fact that you can get them on consoles now. It's never been on consoles. It's now readily available on Xbox and PlayStation. There's a lot changed. I think the aviation world, flight sim and aviation, has just in the last couple of years is just. It never used to be like this when I was younger. It was more niche than it is now. It was very niche. Right, what I'm up to here. We can get the APU off and the APU bleed off. I've also done the beacon light this time. Let's get the taxi lights on. That's the wrong one. Runway turn off lights on. And let's get the I don't always use the Stream Deck plugin, but when I'm not in the sky, it works because it won't knock things off and make me fall out of the sky randomly. Perfect. We can do everything else as we chug along to the runway, I think. Let's have a little look. Let's set the ground spoiler so it's one less thing to do. Are we still on? That's that. Just we're on 2990 now for the QNH. Perfect. Let's follow this Delta. Is that an A319 as well? I think it is, isn't it? I'm looking forward to learning more, but I wish I could get. If you've got an Xbox or a PlayStation, mate, you can get it now, and they run it perfectly well. Obviously, you know, with the PC, visually, you're gonna get a bit more fidelity. But you know what? I was very impressed with the PlayStation 5 version when I got to take a look at it. Me tiller isn't working again. Why are you doing that? I am just gonna have to just plug that back in. Just bear with us 1 second, guys. Not too sure why it's done that. Is it that one? It was working before, wasn't it? There we go. Perfect, right. Carry on. That is one thing I have noticed, but I don't know if that's an error on my side. It could be because it's plugged into a USB hub. It's working now, it's fine. Even at idle, this is the IAE, I think, A319. Auto brakes to max. Good thing about the Airbus is obviously you've got the little heads-up checklist as well. Spoilers are... I thought I'd arm them. I didn't. And we can taxi... we can do the takeoff config. It looks like just flight traffic is messing up again down here, so we might have to just turn it off. The IAE sound fantastic when they're spooling up, but they also just let the aircraft roll straight away. As we just gently taxi down. Let's get the predictive wind shear on. Let's get the transponder set to auto and TAARA set. And I think we're all right at the minute. I know Just Flight Traffic is having a... There's absolutely no way. I tell you what, I don't even think this has had an update. I'm going to remove the traffic, guys. I do apologize. I know it's great having the traffic in, but not while it's doing that. I know these airports do have queues like that, but no, not today. Not today. And the worst thing, I always go into these flights, I always say, you know what, I did a practice flight a day or two ago or the same day and it went fantastically. And it honestly, it does. It does. Just a few planes, yeah. ATC isn't even on, mate. I still, and I'm sure, this has not been long of me sort of learning the A320 series. I'm in the A319 now and the A320 and the A321. I haven't long. I'm still learning it as well. So ATC as well, it'll just fry me brain at the minute. I have had a flight with Beyond ATC on, and it is quite cool. We might do that at some point on the channel. Do you know what I enjoy? I actually enjoy starting the aircraft from cold and dark, getting pushed back, starting the engines up, taxiing out, especially with the tiller. I don't know if you guys have seen the tiller. I've just turned it on before. Is it on? There you go. The Airbus tiller there. And it makes it so much easier taxiing out. Before, I just key binded the joystick, the wing control joystick to the nose wheel as well. So we'll get up. We'll have a flight of about half an hour or so, and we'll get our wheels down, hopefully, at Palm Springs, and we'll have a little look around it, because I haven't really looked around this. I installed it, got me thumbnail, you know the drill, and I haven't had a good look around it yet. This is I think an enhanced 2024 version, so this is one of the iniBuilds airports that was available for 2020, and it was then given a enhanced native 2024 version. As you know, guys, iniBuilds now do not make products for 2020 anymore. It's all 2024 for those guys. So this is one I'd say to you guys, yeah, you can actually get it for 2020. This is the enhanced version, so I think the giveaway only applies to the enhanced version. I probably haven't mentioned it too much, but yeah, I have got a copy to give away. I've been given a nice little copy from iniBuilds, because they said obviously it's had a recent kind of little, you know, optimization update, a little bit of a fixed update. So they threw a copy my way. So once we get down at the down on the ground at Palm Springs, I will get that sorted for you guys, because I know they're clapping me because I stopped the plane. Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. I absolutely love the enthusiasm. Right, okay. Right, let's get going. No, Carl, I know, mate. I'm going to have to try and get it at the end of the week when I'm able to, because I am as like I said before, I am very, very curious to see this. The plane looks amazing, but I am really curious to see the FBO, because they've done some fantastic things with the scenery. Those sounds are weird. But yeah, no, I want to see the FBO. I know the plane's there, but the things that they're doing with the scenery as part of the actual aircraft package, it looks fantastic. I haven't been holding my joystick down. Let's get past 100 knots. Joystick and our V speeds, as I say, it says nearly 150. There is V1. Rotate. Bit high on the pitch there. Positive rate gear up. We'll wait for the climb thrust to kick in. There we go. And we will let the autopilot now steer the aircraft onto the flight path. And then we will just give the flaps a bit of a kick in to go back to 0. First time flying. Maybe it's because you lined up the runway. Maybe, probably. The flights should be about 30 to 40 minutes. Look at the smog. Look at that. No. Might get a little bit of a warning from the system there. The weather was not like this before. There we go. Whoa, look at that. No, this isn't a long flight at all, no. Yeah, I do giveaways quite regularly. When developers are very, very nice, and most of the time they are fantastic at giving me stuff. Honestly, mate, I could never do the 15-hour long hauls. Notice any stutters in this area? I've pretty high system, and the stutters and freezing were ridiculous between Vegas and Burbank. When I did the flight the other before, mate, about 2 hours ago, I did this as a practice flight because it is an RNAV approach. I honestly can't say I noticed any stutters. It looks fantastic, though. I don't know what this weird patch is. I know most of this is photogrammetry. Just shows you how dense Los Angeles is, doesn't it? Let's get the lights off. I think the transitional altitude over in America is 18,000, I think, from what I remember. So we're not actually going to hit that today. We're going to only be going up to 16,000. The pilot was sleeping for half the time. Funny enough, though, where the cruise side of flying, real flying, is very, very important. The pilots are doing a lot. Like most people think that probably just playing a bit of Twister in the behind the seats or something, or you know, a bit of Monopoly or stuff. But there's a lot going on. A lot going on. Looks beautiful though, look at that. The weather was very, very overcast before when I did the practice flight. But yeah, guys, I know. I think it was Carl mentioning the Phenom. Yeah, I'm hoping within the next week or so I want to do something. I want to have a little go with the aircraft, see if I can figure out with some of the things I've learned from the Phoenix. It's a completely different system, but I think most of it might translate. And I want to have a go at flying it, but I really want to see this FBO. The stuff that FS Reborn are doing with that FBO is stuff that I've mentioned in live streams before about being able to manipulate scenery in ways like manipulate hangar doors, other doors, and they've done all that. But it's not, like I said before, it's not just the fact that you can place the FBO anywhere. It's all configurable. You can move it, adjust it, you can add things, you can remove things, you can put your own logo into it, you can, as I say, open and close doors. You can actually send the lift up and down with a switch, and the detail in it as well. It's not that all that isn't cool. The detail in the modeling of the FBO is fantastic. I will do my very best to feature on the channel at some point within the next week, because I'm blown away, and I do really want to learn a bizjet to the point of how I've so far learned the Phoenix, because I think it's cool and I think it looks like a lovely little business jet. Not a massive one. It's a nice size, you know. There's probably stuff I haven't done yet, but we'll have a little look around. Flaps, ground spoilers, yeah. Enter desk. Okay, yeah, so we'll do that. Again, guys, can anyone give me a bit of a clue on this one? In the arrival perf page, the barrow I can usually find, but which value am I putting in? Is it 1320? Is it 1320 or is it 780 or 14? These are LNAV. Am I putting the LP in? Am I putting 1320 into this? Anyone got a clue for me? Let me know. See, that's how much I'm still learning. We are 2989. Temperature is a lovely 27. 350.03, so we got 3 knots coming from 250. And like I say, guys, I'm a bit confused with the barrow. Usually I'd put in the ILS value, which I can find, but yeah, I'm not too sure about this. Which one it is. No worries, mate. It's interesting to, hopefully for yourself, it's interesting to see what partially goes on. Like I've said, mate, I am still learning this. This is all still pretty new to me. Descent is the white line here, the little white arrow pointing downwards. We're not there yet. LP though, yeah, I think it is. That's what I did last time, and it seemed to have worked. So we'll just roll with that. It's not going to do anything to the plane at this point, but we'll see. We'll see. What else? As I say, we're on X-Plane 12 on Wednesday, so anyone interested in seeing a flight in the A320neo, the toeless one, it's not as automated. What I mean by that is, obviously it's exactly the same feeling. It's the same cockpit, but you don't have this lovely tablet. There's a very basic tablet that you can download for free for X-Plane 12, which is integrated into the toeless, and it'll give you what you need, but everything is manual. You've got to use the MCDU a lot more, a hell of a lot more. But it's fun. It's pretty cool. And we will have a little look at that as well. You already know where the thrust is. Well, you know, you got your thrust here, you've got your flaps here. In the Airbus anyway. You got your air brake, your spoilers, speed brake. When it's set upwards like this, when the aircraft lands, the spoilers will come out along with the reverse thrust as long as the reverse thrust has been activated. MCDU. This is kind of the computer, the brains of the operation. PFD, primary flight display. ND, navigation display. The ECAM, lower and upper ECAMs. I'm pity saying that's what they're called. And obviously the autopilot unit, the EFIS and the FCU, so the flight control unit, and the, I can't remember what the EFIS stands for. Overhead panel. It's funny because obviously a lot of this on a standard flight isn't really used or configured. It's there for when you need it. Keep an eye on that descent. I also didn't release the passengers, so they're not going to get much time to go to the toilet. It was 3,100 for our descent. I think on the constraints it's actually going to send us down to about 4,000, which is good because of the mountains we've got around here. What's the tablet for? Electric Flight Instrument System. There you go. What's the tablet for? I mean, again, this is kind of what Phoenix, the developers of this particular aircraft, have given us. It makes flying the aircraft, I would say, setting up the aircraft and everything a lot easier. Some aircraft don't have it to this depth, to be fair to them. They're a lot more... You need to put a lot more... Basically, you can get information from other tablets and stick it into here. This tablet actually takes the information, you press a button, and it sends it over to there. Like I say, on Wednesday, when we look at the TOLUS in Explain 12, it's going to be a lot of looking at this and putting the information from that one into there. You can still manually take the information over on this one if you wanted to, but it does make it a hell of a lot easier. You've got charts for the airports. You've got loads of other things. You can control the weight and how much fuel's going on board. Again, send that over to the computer. Ground services only activates on the ground, of course, and it obviously shows the progress of the flight. The only thing that's not working, I've noticed at the minute, someone else said it before, is that the map doesn't seem to be working on the tablet anymore. It's just a white screen. I think maybe you've got to have Navigraph, which is a subscription-based thing. Right. Let's have a little look. We're about to hit our descent, so we're all good at the minute. Yeah. There you go. Yes, I'm doing a giveaway for this airport that we're going to take a look at now. I'll give details when we're on the ground, but it works off a keyword system, and there's a Nightbot site that can basically draw a winner. But again, you've got to have the flight sim. You know, you've got to have Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. This is from iniBuilds, the guys who make this airport. So Let's start the descent now. But yeah, you were given a copy of Palm Springs. It's a lovely airport, and the night lighting, even though this is a 2024, an old 2024 scenery, it's very nice indeed. Very nice. You'll see some things that kind of make it a bit more dated. What I mean by that is obviously we've had nearly 2 years now, haven't we, where we've had all these new really high quality, high fidelity airport sceneries come out. So I've realised that this is an old one, but I'm not going to be cheeky to iniBuilds and say, yeah, thank you. I'm not going to show it off. I mean, obviously, mate, I would try. All I would say in that is respect. I don't know, birthday presents. Christmas is coming up at some point. Pocket money. I don't know. You know, try and save up for it. But obviously, if you've got a PC for yourself, then you're already halfway there. You know what I mean? Or you're closer than you think. Sadly, I've never been in a position to give out a copy of the Flight Sim ever on the channel. I have worked with Microsoft Flight Sim before on a few different things, but unfortunately not being able to give a copy away. In fact, if we look, this is where we're going to be making our approach. There's our airport over there. There we go. Right over there. And you can see what we're going to do. We're going to fly all the way around, and we're going to come all the way back 180, and then we're going to hug the lower mountains along this ridge here, all the way along, and we're going to do one final right turn pretty close to the runway. Yeah, if you've got a PC, mate, then get yourself saved up. You know, you just get the standard version of the sim. If you've got a PC, then you know you've got the tools there. You know. Aircraft is trying to slow itself down at the minute, but because it's descending, obviously it's going to be fighting a bit of gravity and stuff. But I am just going to introduce some speed brake there. Luckily as well, we're absolutely fine on the altitude as well. There's an altitude constraint of 4,600, but that's absolutely fine. Well, there you go, mate. Again, you've got 20 bucks there, mate. You know, you've got your PC, you've got some money waiting there. Just save the money. Let's get the speed brake back. And we will get down and have a look at this scenery. Like I say, this I try my best not to look at these sceneries too much before going into a live stream. Some of them are pretty hard, like obviously Liverpool, iniBuilds Liverpool. I couldn't, you know, that got sent to me at 11 o'clock at night, and I had to take a look at it. But yeah, tomorrow, like I say, end-of-day simulations, Mount Cook, guys. You need, if you love the scenery side of things, New Zealand. If you're into your GA stuff as well, get yourself over tomorrow, because that comes out at the end of the week, I believe. And it's going to be fantastic. It really is. The level of detail that end-of-day simulations puts into their sceneries is just incredible. And you've got obviously the New Zealand scenery around, and that is a spectacle in itself. 2989 Q&H. Now what's going to happen here is I've just noticed we're a bit high. We're a bit high because I was a lot lower before, I think. Yeah, I felt like I was a lot lower before. The aircraft is going to yeah, make this turn, and it is going to have to lose a lot of altitude now, which isn't great for the speed. Isn't great for the speed. That'll be cool, mate. And VR, the flight sim in VR is fantastic as well. It's just, it really is. But again, you've got to have a great system for any type of VR to work well. Even my system started to sort of struggle with it. But it's a fantastic way to fly, though. Gonna get some lights on. Going to... What else am I gonna do? I am going to let the aircraft get back on its flight path and get it into approach mode. We've also dropped some speed as well, so I'm going to introduce the first set of flaps down to flaps 1, which is great. As you can see, the aircraft now is not on its sort of... It's not following a line at the minute. It's going to basically aim towards this green line and going to get back on track. When the RNAV is centered and caught, it's fantastic. As you guys said before, it just grabs the aircraft because it's satellite, and it is fantastic because in this kind of situation, as you will see, and show you guys where the airport is, I can't even see it. Over there, you can see that it runs in a direction that really you're not going to be able to get the aircraft down. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set the auto brakes to medium. And when the aircraft makes this right turn, I'm going to introduce the approach mode, which will set us on the RNAV approach. Let's see how this landing turns out. You know me with my landings, especially the one from last night's live stream. To be fair though, I think last night live stream the weather was really against me. There was a massive gust of wind that took me right back up into the air. So I'm gonna blame the weather naturally. Let's get approach mode on. Luckily, the speed has worked out for us. It is where we need it to be. And you can see just how angled off to the right we are to the airport, because there's the airport there. We're not coming in straight onto the runway. This airport does have 2 runways. There's a smaller one here, and then the main one which we'll be at. It is the longer runway, yeah. I'm not that brave. I think, no, we'll leave the landing gear just for a second. Again, I'm not particularly sure, but I know with the ILS you do get You do get nautical miles, although that says 4, so we really should be lowering the landing gear. There we go. I think Chase Plane has had a bit of an update since the last update, because it seems a lot better now. No, they're not your flaps. Is there ILS? It's just RNAV on one side. This side, I think it's... I don't know if the other side have got anything from what I could see on the MCDU. RNAV on both of them. But again, if you look on flight radar, the aircraft, from what I've seen, get right past this mountain line here, this smaller mountain line, and make the right turn very last minute. It's not your Madeira type of turn, you know what I mean? It's not your fun shell type of approach. But you'll see on the flight path we've got going on here, it's just nowhere near. It's a bit bumpy as well. We also aren't on full flaps, so let's just get one more down. Our nav seems to be aligned. Obviously, it must be because we made that turn. Well, that'll be the navigation still anyway, but think I'm okay. Everything else. We didn't tell the passengers to get back in, so this is funny. Hopefully, my cabin crew are on it. Look at that. Wouldn't mind going on this flight in real life, I must admit. There's the auto thrust, keeping us from going under speed, you know. I'm gonna let the RNAV continue with this one. Yeah, we are far to the right because we need to be, mate. Because of the mountains. This, if you look on flight radar, like I say, if you look on this flight, this is a proper flight. Los Angeles to Palm Springs. This is the flight path they take in. They only align at the last minute. Autopilot's off now, so this is me now. I'm gonna try and keep the plane on the RNAV on the glide slope. So the thrust, the auto thrust is still keeping me all good. I'm a bit high, so I need to just try and get that nose a bit further down. I also don't want to put it too much down because I want to get this plane
500.
There we go. That was me. That was my fault for angling the nose down a bit too much. removable for reverses. About the same as what I did before. Okay, mate. I'm gonna roll all the way out. It was alright. Okay. Not bad. Do you know what? It's funny because if that was an ILS approach and I was doing it straight on and I had loads of time to settle myself, it'll be even worse. But lights, taxi, runway turn off. Let's get the APU on. Let's start by getting the flaps up as well. APU turned on. And yeah, we are just going to let the aircraft taxi along, make sure that everything's cleaned up. APU's now turning on, so we can obviously turn the engines off once we get onto stand. We are going to stand. Let's get GSX back on. I think 17A, I think. Yeah, 17A. I don't want to follow me because I know where I'm going. Perfect. GSX is ready for us. Massive stutter there. I'm going to blame GSX for that. The location of the airport is very, very nice, isn't it? Very, very nice indeed. Flaps are up. Spoilers are sorted. Now we just need to taxi to stand now. Lovely location. Weather is great as well. Live weather on. Ooh, what have we got over there? Palm Springs Museum. We've got a Harrier over there. F-14 Tomcat as well. Look at that. We were have to take a look at that. Taxiing a bit too fast. Let's just slow down a bit. Remember, guys, if you've got Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, I've got a copy for this. I've got a copy of this rather to give away. Not too long to wait for that. I've got another really hard question to ask you. I'd blame Sim Update 5. I'll be honest, mate. I am with you. I think a lot of my issues stem from it, but recently, and I didn't like to do it, but I know, mentioned it loads, I do like to just whack my settings up to more than what my graphics card can take. I have just lowered some things down recently. Texture resolution I put down to high. Honestly, can't see much of a difference. I've just put my object and terrain level of distance originally to 150. I've put it to 180 now. Don't see much of a difference between the two. I wouldn't be surprised, Carl. There's guys with 5080s and 5090s that are still not getting great performance. I took a look at MM Simulations Izmir, and my experience was pretty good. But I know people with 50 series cards that were 5000 series cards, whatever you like, that said it was performing really, really bad. I'm not using any of his mods, sadly, so I can't even put it down to that. it'd be interesting to see if it was anything to do with that. I mean, yeah, you know, conflicted mods that haven't been updated for Sim Update 5. You know, they yeah, very well will cause issues. What's going on with this aircraft? I haven't even got. Usually it's because I've got my toe brakes down and I don't even realise, but I didn't. Also, as well, I'm pretty certain this is the taxiway, but I'm not entirely sure because there's a white line here and a yellow one here. But anyway, that's where we're going. Let's see if I can park like I did last time, because it wasn't too bad of a... turn these lights off before we blind the poor woman. Oh, that was a bit of a terrible turn, wasn't it? It'll give me time to straighten the aircraft out. There we go, that should be okay, I think. I got a very, very good parking before as well, that was the problem. Please cut engines, you've got it. Not as going to be as a good landing as before, but oh well. You parked a bit too far and askew. Well, it wasn't a great lineup in the first place. But you know what, guys? I'll take that landing. That was a very... I wouldn't say it's a very difficult approach, but it's you know, it's a nice little challenging one for someone who's only been flying this for 2 months, maybe a bit less. Let's get our ground stuff going. GPU means we can get that connected. Let's get the beacon lights off. Let's get the passengers off. Request the... Oh. Okay, GSX. There we go. There's also a GSX profile for this. You can see the guys there. They're bringing the United Steps in there. There we go. Go for it, mate. Well done, son. GSX is just, you know what? As much as they update it and there's always a little bit of a snag to it, it's a must-have, isn't it? You definitely just... You need it if you're doing any flight sim in the airliners. It's actually quite cool. Let's have a little look at it. Let's have a little look at this guy. There you go. Is he going to winch it up? There we go. There he goes. There you go, and then he's going to drag it. I think it's great. I mean, obviously, the GSX animations, they're good, but they're not, like, incredible. But I tell you what. The fact that there's been no competition to GSX, actually, I don't think there has anyway. I'm always looking at that and thinking, no one's ever bothered to, well, take on GSX, have they? Because at this point, I don't think it would be worth it. I think there would be no point. Ground power's on. There's obviously a few bits. If we were turning the aircraft around and going back to Los Angeles. But yeah, we can... Obviously, the fact that we can get out of our seat in the Phoenix. Again, one of the best updates I've seen. One of the best updates, the big update that Phoenix introduced. Still waiting on the Phoenix A320 Neo. I hope they also do the A321 Neo. That would be fantastic as well. As you can see, the GSX, you need to come back with your parents. Get back here. That's my little girl. That's what she'd be doing. Just see us legging it off the plane with the pram. But yeah, the GSX profile is installed, and you can see that they're actually going down the designated area as well. Yeah, I'm stretching my legs. I don't know why this has got the cover on it. I always think this guy looks like Tony Hawk. I don't know why. Just because he's a big fellow, like, yeah. Hi guys, you okay? Yeah. It was a great landing, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Watch out, I'm coming back up, ladies. Come on. Hiya. Yeah. Thank you for your service, yeah. Wait, watch out, mate. Anyone using the seated passengers on GSX? I'm curious, does it affect performance? There we go. Right, guys, with that being said, hopefully, I'm gonna say that this is probably gonna make me need to go back in to the menu and back out again and put the aircraft back on stand, because okay, I think the new update, the chase plane update that I've made through the installer has fixed things, because you weren't able to go into showcase camera, to drone camera, and have a look at that. Pretty cool. They aren't too chatty as they are. I don't use it. When I did, received a few frame drops. Okay. I mean, it's not, unless you're going to be checking out the cabin and stuff. It will affect performance as there are many assets on screen. I don't bother. Sound, guys. I appreciate the advice. I got to tell you what, that was bad parking, wasn't it? Jesus. Anyway, guys, this is iniBuilds Palm Springs. As I say, this is one I was having a little chat with iniBuilds, and I said, "Oh, Palm Springs," because as I say, they updated, they did some kind of optimization, some kind of fix update recently for it, and I said to them, "Oh, when did that come out?" And they were like, "Oh, this is an old one," like, and I was like, "Oh, it makes sense." What was okay, yeah. I mean, the new menus are fantastic, but I don't like these new supersonic ground service equipment vehicles. I haven't sped the image up. That is actually those. Yeah, so like I say, anyway, I was speaking to him. I was like, "Oh yeah," but I was trying to figure out. I was like, I wouldn't have just not looked at this. Definitely not. I would have taken a look at it. Turns out the 2024 enhanced version came out in November 2024, not too long after 2024 released, which makes sense because I didn't start coming back and doing videos till January 2025. So that's the reason why it wasn't featured on the channel. So that's why I'm doing this live stream now, because I'm curious. And you can see, you know, 2 years ago, this would have been absolutely fantastic. It's still quite nice now, don't get me wrong, but you can see it's a bit outdated in terms of, I think iniBuilds now possibly would have done all this, especially with it being so close to the road, so close to the airport. And as you come closer in, you do have modelled roads. Actually, the entrance to the airport looks brilliant. Or the cargo entrance, anyway. But if I'm going to be honest with you, from what I've seen so far, it does hold up quite well. It also has the San Bernardino wind farm modeled in as well. I'm pretty certain, though, that that was already modeled in as a point of interest, so I don't know if they've done it to a better standard or they've just included more. You can actually see that if you zoom in. There you go. So what I'm going to do is, this is obviously the main area. You guys will know that I like to kind of see the other bits first. So what we'll do is we will work anti-clockwise today. And we'll work around the perimeter. Full perimeter fence. You guys know that I love a perimeter fence. What is this? There would be some significance. I couldn't tell you exactly what it is, but they've modeled it in. The road, as I say, hasn't been textured, but there is road signs, which are all quite crisp and clear to read. This is one of those airports where I would expect that to be a thing because of how close you're taxiing. You know, even if you're not going to explore the airport afterwards, have a walk around, use the drone camera, you are going to see this from the flight deck, no matter what. It's a bit of a sort of a car park out there, but there's no surrounding details like gates or fencing or anything like that. So we will carry on. Also remnants of a old, I would say, runway from that width, maybe a taxiway. Quite interesting. You can see that once upon a time there was something there. And we carry on. There is photogrammetry coverage here, but it is, I would say, outdated from what we're seeing now with Asobo Microsoft. The photogrammetry is a lot better, even from a low altitude. This is very, very dated, with all due respect. It's not great. The mountains, the texture on the mountains, fantastic. Really, really nice. Can't complain with the ground coverage, the satellite imagery, where the mountains and the ground is concerned. It's quite nice. I just wish they'd update the traffic on the roads, man. Like, you know what, I've said this quite a few times, and X-Plane really is a good example for me. The traffic on the roads on X-Plane 12, although it's not amazing, it still does that jerky movement. The cars and the trains all come as standard. They look three-dimensional. They don't look like cardboard cutouts going down the road. There's actually police and ambulances going down with, you know, no, we don't. With flashing lights on them and stuff. And it is really immersive, especially when you've got roads quite close to the airport. Andrew, good to see you, mate. Even sorry I'm late joining, I'll watch back. No worries, mate. We'll be doing a giveaway in a minute. These any enhanced don't really convince me. They're ports rather than new projects. I agree, mate. I agree, they are. They're just, I don't know how much different this is to the 2020 version. I would say they're more of a 2024, I guess, port enhanced. You know, you're not going to start seeing the really, really, you know, because they have like a premium enhanced or a premium version. You're not going to see them until after this, a couple of years later, with the likes of Liverpool, Hong Kong, Manchester even. Yeah, the photogrammetry around here is absolutely terrible. Like, it really is. It definitely needs a bit of an update. Like, photogrammetry from a low altitude isn't great anyway. It's noticeable that it's not a custom building. But in some of the new regions, the new parts of the world where they've done the new sort of what they call the tin triangular irregulated network or whatever it's called, you can see that there is a massive difference even from down here. To be honest with you, look at that. It's still even at a... Even from here, it looks terrible. So it definitely needs a bit of an update. Maybe it does. The GSX update, I think apart from when a menu opened before, as I was taxiing up, it give a quite a long sort of pause and a stutter. It looks quite nice. You can see it here, nice. You know, I would say the UI looks, it's the same kind of color and stuff, but it's a bit more modern. Definitely than these, you know, just a list of words. It's been some new icons created and stuff, but I haven't used it enough yet, David, mate. Yeah, the photogrammetry needs a bit of work in this area, but anyway, we'll get on with looking at the airport. Let's have a look at these signs at night. I generally like to take a look at the night lighting separately. I tell you what, I do love the ATC tower in this scenery. Straight off the bat, I'm not convinced about the lighting at the terminal. It does look a bit overblown, not gonna lie. Doesn't look natural, but again, I haven't seen this in real life, so I don't know if that's what it is really like. Anyway, let's carry on. I mean, if you were to fly a lot in this region and do these operations out this airport, then the only thing I would say right now is turn photogrammetry off. Doesn't take too long, but you would probably have a better visual experience. But apart from that, just some very basic GA hangars. Nothing to write home about, you know. All custom modeled. This hangar here, oh, actually, do you know what? These potentially, I think these might be default. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe not. No, I think the default ones that don't have as much detail on the doors. This hangar's got like a bit of a partial opening on the door. This would be a great location for the FS Reborn Phenom with this new FBO, which I really need to take a look at. I am so excited. I want to learn how to fly a decent little bizjet, and just a bit something more substantial than, you know, the PC-24 or the Vision Jet. You know, I think the Phenom's a nice little size for me. Yeah, these are all custom hangars. There's some nice detail with the wires and the sort of the ventilation system coming through. But again, you know, this is nearly 2 years old, this now, so has it aged well? Yeah, I think for some of it looks pretty nice. Yeah, it looks custom, yeah, until you get closer. You can see some of the doors and stuff in that. Hey, a bit quiet, or just me? Yeah, a bit quiet. This is an older scenery, mate. Like I said before, you know, with all due respect to iniBuilds, you know, it is an older scenery. I know people might have seen this before. Some people, like myself, might have missed it and forgot about it, which is great, because then, you know, you can see it now and see what you think. The Atlantic FBO, which does have a little bit of an interior. We also have a swimming pool, just like was it St. Simons, the McKinnon FBO at that airport over by Colorado. They had a swimming pool right next to the apron, didn't they? It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a sexy jet. Yeah, it is. Flying the little Cessna at the moment, and they'll fly nice. Oh, I was referring to your audio, good sir. Pardon me. Oh, no. I mean, is it okay? Is it? I've no one said it so far. It's as close as I'd usually like it, because I feel like if I get too close, it starts doing a bit of hissing and bit of pitch and stuff. You know, it's lovely. There's all these custom palm trees. I would say there's like this weird effect on the branches, though. You know, if you start moving the camera, look. Oh, I don't like that. If you don't move the camera, they look fine. But obviously, if you're taxiing out your plane, I think they're still going to be similar. They look great, but when you're moving the camera, it is like you're drinking, like you've had a massive drink. Ooh, beer goggles. Just the volume quality is fine. Do you know what? I can't higher the volume anymore, otherwise it will go into the red and I'll be really put a bit closer. Just let me know, guys, if obviously that there's. I don't want it to crackle and pop and all that, you know, too much. Bit of an interior. It's obviously not on the level as Dreamflight Teterboro. Version 2, of course. Let's have a little look at the night lighting. Not bad. I'll be honest. Could be a bit of a placebo effect maybe, but for me, I would say that probably isn't 2020 lighting. I would say for the 2020, this is the native 2024, the enhanced one. I would say that lighting has been improved. Definitely. If you look at the hangers over there, that isn't 2020 lighting. That's 2024. So I think they have done stuff with the lighting on this. Bit of a parallax there as well. Some nice little bits. You've got some lighting on the sign off the road here. Some more faked interiors going on here. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And a tower. I love the tower. Look at that. Out in the Californian desert, and you think that was a UFO, wouldn't you? That's what they should do with Area 51 tower, just to really annoy people. Get some LED, get some LEDs and some plasmas on it, and really get the Area 51 enthusiasts going. Which, by the way, guys, just as a bit of because I know not everyone is impressed with it, but I will be taking a look at the Flight Hamper Area 51 scenery, because I am very curious to see that. Because I've been watching this guy go around Area 51. He's just actually bought a bit of land near to one of the main gates of Area 51, and he's getting so well known now that Area 51 are actually closing access to any public on the mountains surrounding Area 51. I mean, they're not literally overlooking, but if you've got a decent set of binoculars or a decent zoom lens on your camera, you can actually see it clear. You can see the Janet Airlines flights coming in, but they are actively closing this, and it seems like this guy, because he's getting so well known on YouTube and that, has possibly caused it. But Flight Hamper, they're doing so much. Obviously, they're doing what they can with the airbase, but they're doing all of the gates and the public, you know, their tracks and the access roads and stuff like that. I'm assuming they will put some camo dudes in there as well. But listen, I'm excited for the Area 51. Also, as well, if you're interested, Flight Hamper have just released the compatibility updates for Amsterdam as well. It only seems like it's a compatibility with a few little fixes. It doesn't look like they've done anything else to it. Modeling and texturing is still great, but it's at today's standard, 2026, it is a bit outdated in the visual fidelity side of things. Still fantastic, though. I need to get hold of it. Miami vibes. Yeah. Did you hear about the 851 add-on? That is a cool idea. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Someone said they bought the ridge off the hill leading up to it and beyond, so people. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, and they are gonna be starting to close even more of these hilltops because again, a couple of YouTubers have started to explore there more, and they are getting really good footage from these hilltops. Apart from the static models, the hangar looks fantastic in my opinion. The static models are very dated, especially this. It looks like it's had some cling film wrapped around it, doesn't it? This one looks nice. Is this like a Gulfstream? Is it maybe? I don't know. Bombardier. The King Air looks a bit. Yeah. That looks like when 2020 first came out and there was the static models in 2020 airports. But the hangar, the quality of the hangar's fantastic. Really, really nice indeed. And then there's this little one here as well. Do you know what? It's a lovely airport. I might bring the Phenom here for sure. I think I will. Nice little sort of staff area, car park and that. Lovely stuff. And then we've got more as well. This looks like this museum with some of the military aircraft on it. I'll send it back to daytime. But yeah, I am curious to see what the Area 51 flight hamper's like, because it's unique, you know what I mean? And I don't think it's like one of those made up situations like the Stranger Things, which was pretty cool. As a Stranger Things fan myself, I found that was pretty cool. But it's not like that or the Jurassic Park thing, or like, you know, the Dune sort of, what was it, the Dragonfly plane that they gave out and that. You know, it's a real place. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's a real place. It's not, you know, it's not fiction. It's not a fictional thing. It's a real thing. They might have had some Easter eggs popped in there. I'm sure they've probably had a bit of fun with that. Now, these static aircraft, these look fantastic. It's got some F-16s, F-14 in there. I can't remember what this one is. They use this over in America quite a lot, don't they? That's not an Albatross, is it? It looks very much like a European Albatross, but I don't think it is. F-14, Tomcat, one of my favorites as I was growing up. I'm not a big military aircraft person, but F-14. And then a Harrier, and what is that? That's not a Lightning, is it? Some of you guys will know better than me on this one. It looks like the front of a Lightning, but it's not. But these are quite nice, these models. That's a bit shiny, but they're not quite nice. It's an F-111. Is it Aardvark, isn't it? It's an Aardvark. I'm pretty certain that's an Aardvark. World War II Air Museum as well. Pretty cool. Could that's even got, yeah, look at this. Hey, that's not bad at all, is it? Look at that. Mural on the side there. Nice grass and custom foliage. Pretty nice. I do like it when museum buildings and stuff are popped in, you know. Pretty nice detail. I hope they've popped some aliens in. Yeah, my military aircraft. I know some of them, but not all of them. Do you know what's weird? That we've got no actual animated flags. I know. Listen, guys, it's the least of, you know, it's probably nitpicking, but for the 2024 scenery, even if it was brought out way back when the sim first came out, you did see animated flags in 2020. There you go. Nice bit of detail. Let's have a little look. We're all the way down the other end now. Let's carry on, because I tell you what, to be fair to iniBuilds, it's got quite a lot in it. And look at the taxiway. Taxiway textures. Alright, it's not like what we saw yesterday with the Atlanta scenery, because that is some of the best ground texturing I've seen. There's the other little runway, I'm presuming for the general aviation side of the airport. Runway and taxiway textures are pretty nice. I am going to say that. They are nice. Wear and tear is... The wear and tear is there. Again, it's just the air surrounding photogrammetry. Nothing that iniBuilds are going to do on that side of things, but it's just a shame, innit? And then just loads of wind farms off into the distance, you know? Still a bit of stuttering, do you know what I mean? But I think it's manageable at the minute. It's not annoying me. Not bad at all, actually. Not bad at all. The ground textures at all. It's really, really nice. And then there's some these look auto-genned, although, do you know what? They've got this lovely textured wall here. Look at this. That's pretty cool. I love the biomes, and obviously the difference in the foliage and the ground texturing in 2024 as well. There's there's quite a big difference. I don't know if these have been added in. Actually, they have. But what the hell is going on? I don't know, guys. So basically, when I was doing I'm surprised it didn't happen before, but I'm getting these really mad bing bongs at LAX, and then this another one before with like a weird kind of bing bong sort of announcement kind of thing, but it's a very scary kind of tone, and then that little like a cash register going off. Does anyone know what that is? Mike, it's happening again with those sounds. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, some self-storage there. So all this has been added in by iniBuilds. Didn't hear it. No, Mike didn't hear it at first as well. I want to know where it's coming from. It's doing my head in. At the minute, we have got a fair few people in compared to what we had at the start, so I really, really appreciate it. With that being the case, what I am going to do now is I am going to get this giveaway sorted for you guys before we get to the main apron and the terminal. Again, I'm going to give you a keyword. I know I've been changing it up recently, but I think keywords, as long as you announce a winner within the next 4 or 5 minutes after the keyword's been given, it's usually fine. So with that being said, you've guessed it, the 4-letter ICO for Palm Springs, guys. Please enter that into your live chat. This is going to enter you in the giveaway to win a copy of Palm Springs. I've only got one to give away, sadly. But yeah, this is the enhanced 2024 version, so pop the ICO code in for Palm Springs into the live chat just to enter just the 4 letters that it is, and I'll send iniBuilds the email of the winner when we get it sorted. So yeah, get yourself entered in now, guys. Remember, it's 2024. It's for this scenery we're taking a look at now. iniBuilds Palm Springs. This is an older scenery, but you know what? Still pretty nice, and we still need to take a look at the terminal and the land side and a few other little bits as we approach the ATC tower as well. I will announce this in the next 5 minutes as well. So if you have entered, stay in the live chat, please, because if you don't reply within 5 minutes, I will redraw it. that is the stipulations. What have we got going on here as well? No one loves me. There we go. What time are we on? Let's have a little look. So it now reads 21:20. Jesus God, we've gone through the time there, haven't we? 21:20. Another couple of minutes. When my clock reads 24, I'll get the winner drawn. And like I say, please stay tuned. I'll be adding more live streams to the channel soon because I'm going to be getting my hands on the FS Reborn Phenom. I'm going to be what I'm going to do first is I'm going to have a little practice flight, and we're going to do a bit of we're just going to do some flying with it on the fly. We're going to do some flying with it on the fly in a live stream. But I really want to show off the FBO and what FS Reborn's done there, because they are making a big deal about it, as well as getting it with the aircraft. It is an aircraft add-on, but the fact that these guys have done some really interesting things with a customizable FBO, a private sort of your own little private jet terminal, which you can fully customize, place at any airport, and from what I've been told, as long as you load up the Phenom, it will remember where you've placed it. I don't know if that's fully confirmed yet. I did have a comment on Two-Tone Murphy's live stream saying as long as you load in with the Phenom, it's obviously not going to load in with like a Phoenix or jet or whatever, or any other private jet. You have to load in with the Phenom, and it will be where you left it, the FBO. So I do want to have a little mooch around the buildings and all the customization options and show you guys it, because there's stuff on there that I really was hoping that developers would be able to do with their own sceneries, and these guys have actually done it, which is insane. It looks fantastic. But yeah, good luck guys. Got a couple of entries already. The 4-letter ICO for Palm Springs as we approach the main apron. Some more custom buildings around here mixed in with the surrounding photogrammetry. There's a U-Haul shed. And then some general aviation aprons. I guess some private jet hangars. There is a Cessna hangar. There you go. Desert Aeronautics Aircraft Maintenance. Signs and everything. Lovely bit of detail. I've never really got an issue with the authenticity side of things with iniBuilds. They're always pretty spot on with that. Tomorrow we are over in New Zealand. We're going to be checking out the version 2 of Mount Cook NZA simulations, the native 2024 package rebuilt with all the new bells and whistles that 2024 gives developers. I've only been to the Mount Cook airport and I've only had a little look, but I tell you what, the detail is very impressive. You can use your avatar mode in buildings. The buildings are just modeled and textured to perfection. And we'll be taking a look at the airports, the helipads, the huts on the mountains, all that good stuff. Wednesday we're in X-Plane 12, and then at this moment in time we're only back on Monday for our Qantas Link full flight from Perth, Orbex Perth, over to Broome Airport, the airport that was introduced in World Update 21. I think between this Wednesday and next Monday I will try and get a live stream on for the Phenom, as long as I'm able to get it. But yeah, that's the plan so far. Isn't that airport surrounded by mountains both sides? This one, mate? I mean, a bit lower on that side, but it pretty much is in its own little bowl, yeah? It's pretty getting a few stutters as well. Look at that. I would say, do you know what? That is just as many stutters I was getting in Atlanta yesterday. So I don't even know if I can blame Atlanta that much, to be honest. Yeah, it's kind of like a whole bowl, and then it's got a bit of an opening here as well. Mount Cook, I mean, yeah, it is, mate, and it's beautiful. And they haven't just done obviously the airport and the points of interest. They've done like the riverbeds and the rocks and the inlets of water and the rivers leading up to the lake and stuff. It is lovely. Please do catch it tomorrow, guys. 8 p.m. start for tomorrow. What time are we on? It is time to get a giveaway started, guys. As in, it's time to get the giveaway announced. There we go. We're on the screen. There's our entrance. Please do get yourself in quickly now as we talk. 4-letter ICO for Palm Springs Airport. Get it in quickly if you want to get yourself in last minute. And remember, I will be taking an email off the winner, guys. It's what I do. It's the only way you guys can receive your airports. Right, okay, no more entrance. Here we go. Where's my window gone? There it is. Okay, good luck, guys, and massive thank you for everyone who's got involved, as always. Love doing these giveaways. Thank you to iniBuilds. Boom. Ape, there we go. Ape, you have won, my friend. Well done. Well done, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's make sure that Ape is still in there, because are you there? If you aren't, then I'll redraw it. Nice. Okay, there he is. Email, mate. Still just a couple of questions for you. The email in your YouTube profile, mate, let me know if that is active and current. Also, let me know, is that the iniBuild, if it's the email used for iniBuilds, even better. Let me know, mate, as we carry on looking at the end of this airport. Because if it is, I can just send it through to iniBuilds. Email all the same. So if it's up to date and all good, is it the one you use for iniBuilds? Just say yes or no. If you say yes, I will send them that, and we can get that done a lot quicker than it would usually take. That is not the iniBuilds email. Okay, mate. That's fine. I'll email you on that email, okay? And I'll get it. Don't put it in anywhere else. I'll email you, mate. Okay. All good. I'll sort it over your email, all officially, as normal. And I'll get it from you from there. No worries. I'll send that email after the live stream, mate. Keep an eye out for it. Right, guys, let's finish the live stream up by taking a look at the kind of the main terminal, the apron, the land side. So, you know, the main areas of this airport. And like I said before, the night lighting for. Let's have a little look. Wrong button. David, enjoy the stream. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it. I know you guys, a lot of you guys are regulars, and I will just want to try and reiterate that the channel isn't still, it's not exclusively live streams. I still haven't done that. It is becoming harder to obviously make pre-recorded content, but it's something that I will do. It just takes a lot more time. Live streams logistically a lot easier. I have said that a lot, but they are. And but I don't want the channel just to go exclusively to live streams. I do want to do pre-recorded stuff. It's just at the moment, getting live stream out keeps the content coming, and it keeps you know, it keeps it all relevant. It allows me to share things, you know. pre-recorded videos are great, and I do like doing them. It's just very, very difficult, that's all. The control tower's got an interior. It's basic enough, but it's really nice. The lighting especially is pretty nice as well. Cheers, mate. Yeah, as I say, you know, I do like doing the live streams. I would say, like I say, logistically they're easier. They're definitely not as easy to perform. Obviously, a lot of improvisation, a lot of I'm not reading off a script. Obviously, pre-recorded videos, I do have stuff to read off that I've obviously written and noted down. And you know, when people are behaving and being nice, like you guys tonight, it's lovely. You know, I have to work on my confidence and my ability to ignore certain people and just get on with the live stream. I do apologize when I give these people the time, you know, reacting to it, because that's what they want, and I know I shouldn't be. So it's been good tonight. There's still time for someone to come in and pop their head up, but you never know. But yeah, I need to get better on that. But anyway, look at that sky. Oh yeah. It's a bit of everything, isn't it? Got your general aviation over the other side. You've got your business jets, your FBOs. You've got your commercial terminal with some Embraers, A320, A319s. Nice little variety. I definitely recommend. I do anyway. I go onto Flight Radar and look at some real routes, and I copy all the real flight numbers over and registrations and stuff like that, and have a little practice of certain routes. You've got from here, if I remember correctly, Los Angeles, of course. San Francisco's a big one as well. There's loads of others as well coming over from the other side. Phoenix, I think, as well. I think Atlanta might be on there as well, possibly. Do you use RexCore? I do sometimes when I'm doing my flights, David. We're not using it today. The only thing that we've got going on today is a reshade, and I'll just show you the reshade. So right now, the reshade's off. Now it's turned on. This one isn't the sealed sky one that I usually use. It's something else, and I can't remember what it's called. Bear with me. It's called Megabyte Ultra Real, and I would say the best thing to do is turn down the sharpness and the contrast a few notches, and it is really nice. But there's without, and there's with. Just gives a bit more darkness in the shadows and a bit more of a blue tone, because even 2024 unfortunately still got that bit of yellow sort of tone onto it. 2020 was terrible for that yellow. 2024 is better. Again, this is lovely. It's just not animated, and I don't know if we've got animated water as a object we can use yet for developers. It's nice though. I love the lights in the water. And again, the custom foliage, the hedges, the grass and everything. It's just these palm trees. I hate the way they do this weird, like, it's all right when you stop, like I say, but when you move, any kind of movement on the drone camera, it's okay when you turn, I think. Yeah, when you turn the camera, it's fine, but if you start when you're moving forward and backwards, it starts going dead blurry. It's weird. Very, very odd. Very odd indeed. David, I have got a video very early on when Rex Atmos Core came out. If you look back on my videos and live streams, I did a video and a live stream for it. I probably could do with an updated version, though, if I'm going to be totally honest. So, yeah, good idea, mate. I do need to do some kind of update for it. But yeah, you know what? Yeah, there's where we started, by the entrance. And here is the terminal. Yeah, it's nearly 2 years old, but it's still a pretty nice. And you know what? I think, if you don't mind me saying, or you don't have to agree, But I think also the location makes this as well. Do you know what I mean? I think the surrounding scenery and the location really do help the scenery along. It's a lovely airport. Do they need to update it as a sort of a native, not native 2024, but, you know, to the level of some of their newer stuff? I honestly don't think they need to. Not really. These interiors are, you know, faked 2D ones. I don't think we've got any real interiors. Let's have a little look. I'm still getting stuttering. I know obviously Carl mentioned it before, but I'm even getting stuttering now. Yeah, there's some basic interior in there, yeah. You know, it's definitely not on the level of, as Liverpool, of course, you know. And I honestly don't just say that because it's my local airport. Liverpool Airport iniBuilds was just next level. Really, really nice. This is lovely. Look at this. You go through the airport and then you're out into this like courtyard. Lovely. Do you know what? I'd love to do a little domestic journey out of here. This is very, very cool. Look at this. Some of the shops, obviously little 2D assets, which, do you know what? They look alright. I don't mind when shops aren't fully done. It's almost like a shopping mall, isn't it? It's mad. Look at this. So they have done the interior to the airside locations, all the gates and stuff. There you go. Remnants of COVID. It's pretty cool. I love the design. Kind of reminds me of the piers at Vegas. Kind of. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. There's also another part of the airport over here. There's another building here, and it looks like you actually have to walk along here to this. I can only imagine this part of the world gets some really nice weather, and they've just opened it all up. I mean, you had to walk to your piers to get there. Love the design, and look at this. Hiya, mate. You okay there? Pretty nice. Pretty. Look at this. There's a bit of pond detail in there. Again, some sort of parallaxed, faked interiors. I don't know if that's the case all the way around yet. It's not the best parallaxed effect. I must admit. It's definitely on the older side. But still pretty nice, nonetheless. Perfect. Well, I think I will be taking the FS Reborn Phenom here, but I think I'll be doing most of my practice at Liverpool Airport, down on the general aviation apron, because we do get some Phenom jets into Liverpool. So, yeah, guys, there we go. Lovely little airport, a couple of years old. I think it's still, I think it's still relevant. I think it still holds up. You can tell it's a little bit outdated from what we're getting now from iniBuilds and others, but it's still really, really nice. The link is in the description, guys. Massive congratulations to Ape, and a big thank you to everyone in the live chat for your time tonight. Come back tomorrow, 8 PM. I am going to be taking a look around. My first proper look at version 2. I've seen Mount Cook version 1, the compatibility mode in 2024. But this is a complete rebuild. I know the guys at MZA Simulations have done Wanaka. They've done that. We featured that on a live stream. They've done Mount Cook. I believe this is coming out within the next week. They're going to be doing some of their freeway airports and bringing them to the ProLine Payware series. Napier is one of them. Can't wait for that. And we will probably be doing some flights over in New Zealand at some point when some of these airports, Queenstown as well. I think iniBuilds do Queenstown. The guys at NZA Simulations are doing one. Can't wait for all that to come. I'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m, guys, and we'll carry on this busy week of live streams. Thank you so much. I'll see you again. Well, honestly, I'll see you very soon. See you later.